Hello, my grade 10s. How are your preparations? Is it your cycle test? Is it your exams? So, somebody asked me, how do we solve triangles using trigonometric ratios and Pythagoras? So, here is your video. We will have a set of questions. Let's see how many questions there are. There is the first one. What do they give you there? Should I tell you? You can see. So they say solve the length of AC. Just pardon the writing there. What are we going to use for this one? Which principle? Should I tell you? No. Let's see the next one. And in this one, they give you two different things separate from the first one. So in this one, what are we going to use? It's for you to try. Let's see the last one. In this one, what do we have? Interesting stuff. How do you solve this one? Where do you start? Give it a go, give it a try. Then go and watch the video. So this one is a bit longish for me to explain, so I have made it into a separate video. So continue to watch to the end so that you see the first two, then look in the channel to see where this one is, and I hope you enjoy all of them. If you want to be my member, talk to mommy, talk to daddy, they can get hold of me. I can assist in any of these ones. You can get hold of me. One of the ways is down there with an email. Hope you enjoy all of them and do watch to the end.
Hello, my grade 10s. Again, we meet. Let's go for it. Did you try it? Was it easy? Did you do well? Let's see. So, we said we're going to do how many diagrams? 3, 4? Okay, let's see. We'll start with a few. Maybe the last one, we'll do it on a separate video. Let's go for it. So, they gave us this one, and we are in trigonometry, but we don't see an angle with a degree value. We just see theta. Why are they doing this to us? Why do they give us this triangle here with a 7 and a 9 and a theta in the corner there? Okay, so in a test you go, okay, these people, they think they are smart. They are not smart, because I know that if I have a triangle with a corner there, that angle with that symbol, it means it's a 90 degree. And when we do a triangle with a 90 degree and it has two values on the sides, it means we are going to use what? Do you remember? Right, so we use Pythagoras. What do we say there? We say that the hypotenuse squared will be equals to what? Will be equals to the length squared plus what? Plus the width, or the base squared. Okay, so we don't need to write this in a test. We go check in our diagram which is the longest side. The longest side is AC. So it means we know that AC squared will be equals to what? It will be equals to the length. What do we take as the length? Let's say we take the length as the 7. Okay, so we go 7 squared. Then do I call that width or height? Well, it doesn't matter. It's the other side. So we go 9 squared. Then what do we have? We have 49. You remember grade 8, I said first page, do your what tables. You remember that, isn't it? Then 9 squared is what? 81. Then we add the 2. What do we find? So these two give me a 10. Those ones give me a 12. So it means I have a 130. Then when I finally find AC, what do? I take the square root, isn't it? All right. And what did they say? They said 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places. If we do 2 decimal places, what are we going to get? We are going to get what do we get? We get look at that, gives us a root 130. Then we get 11.4. Okay, so it's 11.40 because that one there doesn't round up, isn't it? So we can say it is 11.4 units. All right, then we are done. Difficult? No. Grade 8 stuff, grade 9 stuff. Then we go to the next image, the next diagram. Let's see what they had. Alrighty, there is the second one. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. So this one was number 2. And what did they give us there? They gave us a triangle again. This time, what do they have? Do they have numbers on the sides? No. They only have one side with a measure. Then the next measure is an angle inside. So, what are we going to do here? We still have that triangle. It is a right angle triangle. Can we use Pythagoras there? No, we can't use Pythagoras because we are using what? Trigonometry principles. So we use our what? Our trigonometric ratios. Okay. Trigonometric ratios, relationship between angles and sides. We'll talk about that just now. So in a test, you are not going to waste time with this. Easy peasy marks. So what do they have? They have a side and they say calculate the length of AC and AB. Now, what must I know? I must know that if I have a triangle and information in that triangle, I must do what? Okay, you see, I didn't draw it nicely as in the picture. The side is supposed to be long, but we'll just ignore that for now. So if I have a 67 there, and I have an 8 there, and I'm looking for what? I'm looking for this one. So how do I make sense of this picture? I am going to say, right, what is it that I'm looking for? It is my hypotenuse. It is the longest side. And what do I have? This is where you need to know your story. This angle is between the hypotenuse and the side that is next to. Next to what? Next to the angle. What do we call this side? We call it adjacent. Okay. So if I have adjacent, what do I use? I have adjacent and hypotenuse. What relationship this? If I have A over H, what is it? It is equals to Is it cos? Is it sine? Is it tan? Oh, it is cos that angle that I'm given. So in this instance, what will I have? I will have my adjacent as what? As 8. What do I have for my hypotenuse? I have AC. There it is. They said calculate the length of AC. So it means here I am going to have AC. Then I'm going to have what? I'm going to have cos. Cos of what? Cos of 67. Okay. So in your test, your exam, don't waste time repeating some of these steps, because somebody could have said 8 over AC is equals to cos which angle? Angle C. If they have allocated maybe 4 marks, you can do that. You can put C there first and then finish it off. Okay. Now, what do we have here? We have AC. AC is now what? It is our denominator. It means we need to put it as a subject. What do? We remember this is like a fraction. It is over 1. Then we cross multiply, isn't it? That 1 and that 8 will come and we get an 8. And then these two, they multiply. What will we get? We'll get AC cos 67 degrees. Okay. Then I want AC on its own. What do? I divide both sides by cos 67 so that I am left with what? I am left with AC on its own. If I divide by that, I'll be left with AC on its own, and then I also divide by that as well. Then I'll be able to calculate my AC. Then I can put my AC on the left for my answer. Then everything else is our calculator. So we go for a fraction. That fraction, what does it have? What did I do there? Right, I have a fraction. Oh, I pressed the shift first. So I have a fraction, and in that fraction I have an 8 at the top, and then at the bottom, what do I have? I have a cos 67. And I must close that. Okay. Then I go equal. What do I have? 20,47. No rounding up again. 20,47 units, isn't it? Did they give us millimeters? No. Did they give us centimeters? No. They didn't. They just gave us units. We don't know what the units are. All right. So there you are. You do that in split seconds. Don't waste time like me, because I am explaining to you. Okay. Right. So what is this all about? If I can take just a few seconds more. We did that one in the first activity. And what were we given there? We were given only the sides. So we didn't have an angle. So we couldn't use the principles of trigonometry. We used Pythagoras. So then we came to grade 10. In grade 10, we are introduced to another study in mathematics. So trigonometry is another study where we do what? Where we study shapes and space. Okay. So we study shapes, space. What are we talking about? Space, it can be the region, whatever. Remember in grade 8 and grade 9, we did area, isn't it? So inside there, that space there, it is our area, and we had a formula for that. I'm not going into that. Now, what are we doing in trigonometry? In trigonometry, we are using the relationship between an angle and its side. Okay, so it can be that angle, it can be that angle, but we also need to have a 90 degree as was given in B. Okay, and then in that relationship, what do we have? We have a side over another side in relation to the angle. Either that angle is between those two sides, sometimes it is opposite one of the sides. All right. So this is another way of measuring shapes, distances, and space. It is in addition to what? It is in addition to geometry. In addition to geometry. And it is in addition to what? The old way of doing things before we found Pythagoras and Euclid and all those things. We used to do what? We used to measure. We put a ruler there, we put a ruler there, we put a ruler there to measure those things. Then it happened that what happens now if we have to measure a big building that is in the shape of a triangle? What if we have to measure a field, a farm a country that is shaped like a triangle, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna use a ruler? We don't have that luxury. Okay, we don't have a long ruler. So we use what? We use trigonometric principles. There you are. So I've given you information why trigonometry exists. Some of you just know O over H, A over H, O over A, cosine 10. That's all you know, but you don't know why. Now you know. Okay. But don't rely on me only. Go and read as well. Read those textbooks. Why do you want to do this? So that when you come across any words in an exam or a test, you have seen them. It's not the first time. What else? Why do I say go and read your textbook? Oh, you are going to varsity. You must know how to read. You can't only learn by just listening to a teacher. You must read, because there you must finish a textbook in 6 months, 4 months, 5 months, because the 6th month you're writing an exam. Okay, there we don't play. We write a test every 2 weeks. We write tutorials every week. So get used to it. All right. So basic touch-ups there. We were just refreshing. Easy peasy. 2 marks in a test, 3 marks. Get that one. Let's see the interesting stuff now in the next one. I am back. I heard you scream. I say you didn't do AB. Why didn't you do AB? Oh, right. I heard you. So before the interesting stuff, we must also do what? We must also do AB. Okay. Right. So AB, how do we do AB? So we can use two ways to calculate AB. Remember, we were given right, let me draw it properly this time. Okay, so we were given ABC. We were given ABC, right, and we were given 67 degrees, isn't it? And we were given an 8. Right, then what did we find in the previous one? We found 20.47 for AC. Okay, so for AC, we have 20.47. Then what are we asked to calculate? We are asked to calculate AB. And what do we have? We have a right angle triangle. So there is another reason why we had to do that one first. Okay, because they are telling us that in mathematics, you are not restricted unless they tell you specifically that you use certain methods or concepts or whatever. All right. So here we can use method 1, which is Pythagoras. So if we use Pythagoras, what will we say? We will say our AC. Okay, so in the first video, I use the names of the sides, so now I am using the labels. Okay, so AC is the longest one. When we take the longest one and we square it, it will be equals to the shortest or the medium squared plus the shortest squared, isn't it? Okay, AP squared. So here we will have 20.47 squared. Then for our BC, we will have 8 squared. Then for our AB, we will have our AB squared. Then what are we going to have? 64. Do you remember that? Do you remember? Forgot. Right. Then we must do the other side, which is what? Which is 20.47. And then we square it. What does it give us? 419.02. So we have 419.02. Then what must it do? We must leave AB squared on its own. Right. So minus 64. Then we subtract 64. What does it give us? It gives us 355,02, which is our AB squared. Then we must find our AB. Then our AB is what? It is the root of 355.02. And then what does the calculator give us? Let's do it quickly. It gives us the root of 355.02. It gives us 18.84. 18.84 units. Okay. Right. Then we will be done. That is our Pythagoras. Now we use what? We use trig ratios. You see, now I am shortening, okay, abbreviating that name, trigonometric ratios. Right. So let's see now. Here we have AB. Now AB is what? If we did not have this number there, what would we have? We would only have, let me redraw it again. We will only have, let's say you didn't pick up that you can use Pythagoras, you are just sticking to trigonometry, you can do that. All right, you can do that. That's why I love about mathematics. So this one, we pretend that we don't write the answer, we start afresh, we say, okay, I am still using trigonometry, I am giving those two. And what am I asked to look for? I am asked to look for this one. Where is this one? This one, it is opposite. Okay, it is not next to. The side that is next to is the one with an 8. The one that I'm looking for, it is a opposite. Okay, so what ratio is that? Opposite over adjacent. Adjacent over opposite. Oh, you don't remember. Okay, so we have opposite over adjacent. It is what? It is 10. The third one, isn't it? It is 10 our 10C. So what are we going to have now? Our opposite is what? Is AB. And then our adjacent is what? It is 8. Then we have 10 what? 1067. Then we have our AB. We are going to cross multiply. That is a 1. It leaves me with an AB. Now I have 8, 10, 67 degree. What is that? I go to our friend there. Okay, let's go to our friend. We have 8 times. We can also put it in brackets. We go 10 what? 1067. Then we must close the bracket because it is multiplying the answer inside the 10, isn't it? Okay, what do we have? We have 18.84, 18.85 now units. Okay, right, it means there is something that I must check. Why do I have 18.84? Okay, don't worry too much about that. Okay, because here you remember I didn't take that entire number from the calculator. Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. In the calculator, 20.47 all squared is equals to what? It is equals to that entire number. Okay, so I didn't take that entire number. If I subtract 64, what will I get? I get this entire number. Let me take the root of that entire number and see what it will give me. Does it give me 18? Nah, it still doesn't give me. Right, don't stress too much. Let me see now if what is it? 18.841. I'm now stretching this because some of you may say, right, let me do this. 18.841. I'm gonna repeat this. I just want to see what does it give me without rounding off. 18.841, isn't it? So if I say 8 times 1067, what does it give me? 18.846. Okay. It's not giving us exactly the same. Okay, right. Right. Okay, don't stress too much about it, guys. Okay. I'm not gonna worry too much about it because it will need me to go back to this one and then calculate this once more and then take all the decimals there, which I will use there. So it's not going to be practical. So if we were using every digit and we continue with every digit here, in the end we would be able to get numbers that are almost the same. All right, so what was important here was that you can see that you can choose between two methods. All right, as you can see, this one is the shortest of them all. It is easiest, less calculations, no square roots and all of that. Okay, no juggling too much. So you were shouting, sir, you didn't do AB. Right, there is AB. Now we can go to the interesting stuff. Hang in there, stretch your hands. Don't stand up, just stretch your hands and then we go for the interesting one. Alrighty, ready?